The sunrise is just touching the edge of the forest. A thin mist still hangs over the cold blades of grass. And in that pale light, he appears. A silent flash of red glides along the edge of the field, each step as light as a falling leaf. Ears perked high, sensing every shift in the wind. Eyes, deep, sharp, seeing farther than any human could guess. A fox, fast, agile, and clever enough to turn an entire farm into his own playground. But when winter comes, when food grows scarce, the instinct to survive awakens, fiercer than any rule. This is no longer a chase. This is a battle. Today, we follow the tracks of the one who moves through the mist. From faint claw marks on the ground to the narrow trails it's left behind near the chicken coop and fence lines. We'll watch, wait, and face it when nature allows. This isn't just a hunt. It's a mission to protect the farm, where livestock, crops, and hard work sustain an entire family. If you love real stories from the wild and the fields, subscribe to Famigo Farm and join us on this journey.
We came here at the break of dawn, when the sun hadn't yet risen. As you can see, the scenery here is so fresh and peaceful, but hidden beneath this lush green landscape lies a mystery waiting for us ahead.
The first trace appeared in the early light. We stepped onto a stretch of meadow lying right at the edge of the old forest. The ground still held the chill and damp of a long night. Dew gathered on our boots and the barrel of the rifle. The air carried the scent of dry leaves, wet earth, and the breath of winter drawing near. Ahead lay a pine forest, veiled in a thin white mist. Behind us, the fields where the farm's chickens and ducks foraged every day. This boundary, where the wild meets human life, is the crossroads between instinct and duty. Everything was unnervingly still. The wind whispered softly through the trees, and even our footsteps were so careful that the grass only trembled, making no sound. We moved with purpose, slow, low, steady in breath. Patience, that is always the first rule of the hunt. Then, a faint motion in the tall grass ahead. At first glance, easy to mistake for shifting shadows, but we knew. That was the sign. The red shadow was there, graceful, composed, as if this land had long belonged to him, every step deliberate, like a creature that knows every path, every route, and even where we might be watching from afar. We stopped, no words exchanged. Every movement slowed to near stillness. The rifle rested against a knee, the scope adjusted in rhythm with the slowing, deepening breath. This wasn't a moment of strength, nor of show, nor of chance. This was a moment of timing. The moment when the fox crossed that invisible line we'd marked earlier, the point where the grass no longer hid him, and his form stood clear against the pale morning mist. The world seemed to hold its breath. Even the wind paused mid-turn. Our breathing fell silent. The aim held steady. Each second stretched taut, ready to snap. And then, a flash of light split the dawn. Clean, precise, final. Like the period that ends a chapter and begins a new one in the journey ahead. But to understand the meaning of that moment, we must first understand the creature we're facing. The fox is one of the most cunning and unpredictable predators of the canine family. In evolutionary terms, it shares the same branch as domestic dogs and wolves, the top hunters of the wild. But instead of relying on the strength of the pack, the fox chooses intelligence and stealth as its means of survival. Its adaptability knows almost no limits. It can live in deep forests, grasslands, barren hills, and even right along the edges of human settlements or rural farms. They don't retreat. They quietly move closer to our world. In nature, foxes are opportunistic omnivores. They hunt mice, birds, frogs, and other small creatures hiding beneath the soft earth. Their sharp ears can pick up even the faintest rustle underground, while their night vision allows them to move when the farm has fallen silent. The leap and pounce, striking from above, is their signature hunting technique. Listen, locate, spring, strike, cleanly. It's not just instinct, it's a skill refined through countless trials and errors since youth. Yet that same intelligence becomes a problem when foxes live close to humans. On farms, they often break into chicken coops. They don't smash doors or make noise. A small gap is all they need to slip inside. And once they've found a way in, they remember it, returning night after night. The loss isn't just a few chickens, it's lost breeding stock, lost eggs, and the disruption of a family's livelihood. More seriously, some foxes can carry rabies. When that happens, their natural caution disappears. They may approach dangerously close, even attacking livestock or humans in a state of panic. Not out of malice, but because the disease has shattered the natural order within them. That's why controlling this predator isn't about erasing nature. It's about protecting the fragile boundary between the wild and human life. Hunting a fox isn't about seeking glory. It's about protecting the farm, the animals, and the life that depends on them.
Oh, hello.
And the hunting season follows the rhythm of the earth and sky. In this kind of hunt, timing is everything. The season usually begins when the forest leaves start to turn color, lasting until the ground hardens under the final frost of winter. It's the time when nights grow longer than days, when the earth's breath turns dry and cold, and food in the wild becomes scarce. The fox must travel farther, searching for whatever chances remain. And in those days, the edge of the farm becomes their frequent crossing ground, because there, between the wilderness and human life, lies a narrow borderland where nature's order and human effort constantly meet. Small trails around the chicken coops, patches of sunken soil by the fence, and spots of flattened grass near the yard's edge, all are signs of this predator's passage. They leave little trace, but to those who know the land, every faint mark on the ground tells a story. But the terrain is never constant, and neither can be our approach. On open, sloping fields, we move along the natural contours, keeping our bodies below the horizon, so our shadows won't reveal us against the light. In pine or fir forests, the tall, straight trunks become perfect screens, allowing us to observe without being seen. There is no rush, no chase. This hunt isn't about pursuit, it's about being in the right place, at the precise meeting point between the wild and the human world. Because that is the true boundary of this hunt, a line not drawn by hand, but defined by the rhythm of the land and the instinct of the predator. Every land has its own rhythm. To move with it, you must first listen before taking another step. In winter hunting, the wind is always the first element to consider. In snow-covered forests, sound travels far, and the human scent can drift easily through the cold air. Before we move, we stand still, watching the direction of falling snowflakes, listening to the faint tremor of pine needles, and feeling the thin stream of air brush across our faces to determine a safe path of approach. Once the wind's direction is understood, our route is adjusted to move against it, keeping our scent outside the predator's senses. The snow reflects light, making every movement visible. Each step must be slow and precise, placed only where the snow has already sunk to avoid the brittle crunch that echoes in the frozen air. Breathing is kept short and low, so it doesn't rise into visible white mist against the gray sky. Ahead, the pine trees stand tall and straight, their trunks dark against the pale stretch of ground. We hide behind the larger ones, our bodies blending with the shapes and tones of the forest, leaving no distinct outline for watchful eyes to catch. When we need to observe, our stance lowers with the natural slope of the land, our silhouette dissolving into the landscape. Our backs rest lightly against a tree trunk or a mound of earth, becoming part of the forest, not an intruder in it. Here, the smallest sound can undo hours of patience. Jackets, straps, buckles, everything is wrapped in soft fabric, so not even a whisper of friction escapes into the wind. A hunt in the winter forest leaves no room for haste.
Almost got
It
away,
unfolds
this one.
slowly, silently,
Almost
like a
got away.
wordless conversation between man and winter itself. And in the vast white stillness, we wait. Wait for the moment the fox appears, a single vivid streak of red against an endless field of snow. Tools don't determine the outcome, but choosing the right ones creates balance. In every ambush, the hunting team usually carries two familiar options: a Chiappa Triple Crown 20G and a lighter Walker 10. The Triple Crown is a triple-barrel break-action shotgun, 20 gauge. When shouldered, it feels balanced and solid. Its sightline steady, which is crucial in the moment you must raise the gun quickly, yet aim true. The 20 gauge recoil is gentle, allowing the shooter to maintain posture and steady breathing, even in deep cold and long stretches of silence. The break-action mechanism makes every shot a deliberate choice. It's not built for speed, but for clarity and precision. The 410 is different: light, compact, easy to carry when moving constantly or lying in wait for hours. Its recoil is minimal, keeping the body calm and still, but its limited power and range make it best suited for close distances, where accuracy matters above all. Neither firearm is chosen to display power, but because each fits the terrain, the rhythm of the hunt, and the way the team works together. And before any action takes place, there is one rule the team always upholds: hunt in the right season. Hunt only in permitted areas. Never hunt for trophies. Act only when it protects the balance of this land. Here, skill is only part of the craft. The rest is responsibility. But as day fades, another opponent steps out from the dark. In that night's shadow, the wild boar appears. You don't see them first, you recognize them by their signs. The soil dug deep into trenches, barns thrown into chaos overnight, newly planted crops stripped to bare roots. The damage comes slowly, but steadily and surely, dragging both harvest and livelihood into danger. So controlling the wild boar isn't about pursuit or dominance. It's about preserving the balance of the land. As the darkness deepens, the rhythm of movement changes, no longer guided by sight, but by the flow of air, the tremor of the ground, and the tightening silence pressing through the night. Then the herd emerges, dark masses peeling away from the blackness, moving slow and heavy, carrying the weight of the forest through the long night. The moment of the hunt isn't found in the trigger. It lies in the choice to remain still. The silence now isn't born of fear. It's a reminder not to disturb the balance. This land belongs to no one side. It endures only through the equilibrium of all life within it. Nature takes no side. It keeps only those who respect its boundaries. Every journey out there reminds us of one truth. Humans are not rulers of this land, only guests, allowed to stay when we learn to live with what already exists. A fox in the morning mist, a wild boar in the cold night, crops, livestock, and people between them, all connected by balance. If what you seek is not glory, but a deeper understanding of this land, of what protects it and what challenges it, then join us. Subscribe to Famigo Farm, share the journey, and return when the sun rises once more over this land.